Hi, I'm Stefan from Mix66, and in my last video I talked about how you can improve your drum recordings when your drummer, your room or your equipment isn't the best. But I forgot a technique that can help you get much better drum recordings and therefore better productions. I like to call it the hybrid drum recording, because you are recording real drums and electronic drums at the same time. The result is you will get the best of both worlds. You get the organic sound of real drums with the flexibility of electronic drums. So let's see how this is done. So here we have the hybrid drum setup with normal cymbals, a classic snare drum and two toms, but the kick drum is a E-drum pad, and this kick pad is connected to the Yamaha DTX 700 drum module, which itself is connected via USB to my laptop. So now I can record the kick drum to a MIDI track and the rest to a normal audio track. And for the monitoring, the headphone output of my DAW is also connected to this drum module. It goes into the aux-in input, and then my headphones are connected to the drum module itself. This has the advantage that I have the input from the DAW, but I have also the kick sound from the E-drum pad. Instead of using a E-drum kick pad, you could also use a real kick drum. You could mount a mesh head on the better side and a trigger on the rim, so then you can trigger your samples from this kick track. And here we have the full hybrid setup with real cymbals and E-drum shells. All the shells are connected again to the Yamaha E-drum module, and once again I'm listening back through this module. So the headphone out of the DAW is connected to the aux-in, and my phones are connected to the phone output of this module. Again, the advantage is I'm hearing my in-ear mix from the DAW, but also all the shells from the E-drums. And again, I'm sending the MIDI from the drum module via USB to my DAW. So here we have a drum recording so that you can also hear the difference that this hybrid drum recording technique makes. We can have a listen to it. It's just me playing a drum groove. It's quite fast and has some fast double bass patterns in it. I've played them quite sloppy. You will hear it now, and after we listen to it, we can try to edit this groove perfectly to the grid. Okay, you can hear that I've played it quite sloppy, especially these fast parts, and also here at the end. It was not the best performance, but for the sake of this demonstrational video, this is fine, because I want to show you exactly how this hybrid drum recording technique can improve your drum recordings when you have a bad drummer, a bad room or bad equipment. So let's try to edit this performance to the grid. I'll just cut it here and then and make some adjustments so that it's perfectly on the grid. Let's have a quick listen to how it sounds now. Much better. But now when this fast double bass part comes, it gets tricky to edit. First of all, because you can see that there's a flam between the kick drum and the snare drum. Both of them should be right on the one. But if we move the kick to the one, the snare is late, and if we move the snare to the one, the kick is early. We could move just the kick track, but if we listen to the overheads, we have the kick and the snare signal in there. And you can also hear that there is a flam in it. We could try to leave the snare perfectly on the grid and leave the kick how it was played. Maybe it doesn't sound too bad with the whole mix, but as you can see, these kick hits are all over the place. Maybe here on the free we can add it to the grid. It's not too much of a difference. We can edit all the single hits. You can see this bar of double kicks was played so badly that there is no way that we can edit them perfectly to the grid. And there is a second disadvantage with this traditional approach of recording drums. In the room and in the overhead, you have all the kick in there. This can be great if you want a huge drum sound, you have a lot of room sound in your drum mix, and you want also a nice kick room. But it could be that you want your kick drum to sound as direct as possible, so you don't want any room sound with your kick, but you want a nice big punchy snare drum with a lot of room. So you have to compromise if you record both at the same time. But if you record your kick drum with an E-drum kick pad and the rest of the drum kit normally, then you can choose whatever kick sample you like and mix the rest of the kit to your likings. So let's see how to record in Reaper a kick MIDI file together with audio tracks from the rest of the kit. Let's create a new track, arm the track and choose your input. We will choose input MIDI, Yamaha DTX 700, all channels. And now you can record your E-drum kick pad along with the rest of the kit. Of course, you have to arm also the channels from the rest of the kit. Now I have already recorded this with a E-drum kick drum pad, so let's jump to this recording. So now you can see in the picture there is no kick drum. Under the right there is the E-drum kick pad. Let's listen to the raw recording. Now we can edit our real drums perfectly to the grid. Okay, so now the real drums are perfectly aligned. And we can open the MIDI file from the kick drum and take a look at that. First of all, I would like to change the note length so it's easier to edit. Okay, perfect. Now we could edit them manually, or we could also just select them, hit Q in Reaper, and they are all aligned. Now we have to listen again and make some manual changes. Okay, here the fast kick pattern we have to edit manually. First of all, this was a little bit early. This we can erase, and here we can see that the E-drum module missed some kicks, so we will just copy them over. And now we have all the hits, but with some hits the velocity is off, so we can boost the velocity and we have all the hits at the same velocity. Let's listen to the result. You can hear we have a much cleaner recording, the editing was much faster, and we have other advantages. We could change now the kick pattern. For example, if we prefer here to have triplets instead of 16th notes, we could change it here in the MIDI file and we don't have to re-record anything. Just add the hits and we are ready to go. Change it back to 16th notes, and let's say we don't like the tone of the drums, we just open our sampler and choose a different kick drum. To compare it with the first recording, here in the room and the overheads we don't have any kick drum. You can hear that there is the sound of the kick pad in it, but it is so quiet that you will never hear it in the full mix. Let's edit the full performance so we can listen to the before and after. Now the kick drum, again I will change the note length so that it's easier to see. Perfect. Okay, let's listen to the first recording where not everything is edited. And now to this new hybrid recorded performance. Maybe this kick fill sounds a bit over the top, then you could always go in there and lower the velocity so it sounds more human. still a little bit crazy. You could also select all the hits, hit H in Reaper to humanize the performance. Let's listen to it. As you saw earlier, you could also take this technique a step further by replacing all your shells with E-drum shells. So I have done that. So let's take a look at that recording. Here you can see that now this is a full electronic shell setup with normal cymbals. And I have loaded the EZDrummer plugin to trigger our MIDI tracks. Let's have a listen to the unedited recording. Just the overhead and the room. Again, you can hear the bass drum pad very quietly, but in this case it is not important. You will never hear it in the full mix. And the approach will be the same as before. We will edit our real performance, so the overheads in this case. Let's take a look at the MIDI performance. Here you can see some mistriggered hits. This could be always the case when triggering with a E-drum set, but we will have a look at it and take care of everything. First of all, again, we will change the note length. Okay, we will set our grid to 8 notes and we will quantize the first hit. Get rid of this bad triggered. Here we can see the fast double bass part. Let's take care of that. The grid to 16th note, and we can edit manually the whole pattern. Okay, and now we have a fully edited drum performance. And again, you have the full flexibility. You can change here the velocity to make it sound more human. You could also change the pattern of the snare drum here. Let's listen to that. Okay, it sounds crazy, but this is just to show you what you can do if you record your drums like that. For example, we don't have any toms recorded in this drum performance, but if you would like some toms in here, you can add them right away. You can do all the crazy stuff you do with drum programming, but you have taken your drummer's original performance, you have organic cymbals, so you have the best basis to get a great drum sound. I hope this hybrid drum recording technique helps you get better drum sounds, and if you want a fast track to better drum sounds, then just click the link in the description and you can download my free drum samples. Thanks for watching, make sure to click the subscribe button and see you next time. Bye.